This is Carl doing his commentary style voiceover, and today I'm going to be asking him a little bit about Oldham Community Radio. So, Carl.
Yes.
Basically, what do you think about the types of audience and where the people the listeners for Oldham Community Radio come from? And
Obviously, because it's community radio, they're aiming at the general Oldham area, or kind of like the broader Rochdale, Middleton kind of area. So obviously, like, the people that they're aiming at are people that live in these areas and who maybe work in these areas and are involved around here, sort of thing.
right, okay. So, where do you think the money comes from for Oldham Community Radio, and how is Oldham Community Radio staffed?
Obviously, advertisement has a lot to do with it. I mean, radio advertisements are quite a big thing, really. I mean, they take up quite a lot of the show. I'm pretty sure they get quite a lot of government. Well, maybe not quite a lot, but I'm pretty sure they get government funding as well for when the government needs to advertise things and so on and so forth. Because it's a great excuse for them to be heard. And through all of that, I'm pretty sure that's how they pay all their staff. There's not a lot of staff because it's not a huge radio station, but I think that is how they fund it.
Yeah, right. So, how do you think Oldham Community Radio organises their strands, and how does your news bulletin fit in with the strand that you've picked to do?
They organise their strands around who they think will be listening at the time. So obviously, like the morning strands, and just before school are more like aimed at teenagers or around my sort of age group, because that's when they'll be getting up and going to college or school or and things like that. Whereas in the middle of the day, it's more aimed at like maybe the elderly or people who work at who they think would still be at home and be listening to the radio. And obviously, again, there's news bulletins at the important times of the day, like when people are travelling home in cars, for instance. So like from about 4 till 6 o'clock. Obviously, they do a 5 o'clock news strand, and yeah, I think they try and base it around who they think will be listening at the time and what their biggest audience will be at that particular time.
Okay, so how do you think, if our news bulletin was actually broadcast, how does our broadcast attract the audience that we're targeting?
Well, obviously we fit into Oldham Community Radio quite well because all of our stories are community based, and it's stuff that does affect the Oldham and Manchester area. And because we're trying to aim for that morning strand where we think that like teenagers and school children will be heading to school, the stories that we've picked reflect that. So it's stories about obviously Oldham Athletic and youth workers and things like that, and that's why we've picked them.
Okay, have you got anything else to say about our news broadcast?
Not really. I think that's about
Okay,
it.
thank you.